Okay, it's 5:30. Let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to now call to order the meeting of the Whitko Community School Corporation Board of School Trustees for January of 2025. We all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is a meeting of the school board for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business. It is not to be considered a public community meeting. Public comments are limited to items on the agenda. There will be a time for public participation as indicated by agenda item number 5. The board receives agenda item information and rationale for administrative recommendations for their thorough review before each meeting. We have no media signed in for tonight's meeting, so let's move into the students of the month. The first one that we have listed is Madison Kripe, a senior nominated by Mr. Strayer.
See if I remember how these things work. Maddie Kripe, is getting ready for her senior night for basketball, so she couldn't be here tonight. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about her. I've known Maddie for 3 years. I've had her in class for 3 years. She's shown me nothing but respect, honesty. She has qualities that make her a great student and person. She has a way of bringing out the best in people. She doesn't judge them before she gets to know them. She has a sense of humor and knows how to listen. And another quality that she possesses is her positive attitude. She is very intelligent and picks things up easily. However, when Maddie doesn't fully understand a concept, she'll work hard until she gets total comprehension. She likes to take on challenges and doesn't stop until she completes them. And when given a task, I know Maddie will get it done and done well. She's a student you can fully trust, and I know you can ask her to do something that's very important to me and it'll get accomplished. That's the reason I asked her to be my teacher assistant these past 2 years, and she's done a fabulous job. In conclusion, Maddie is one of the hardest working, caring, trustworthy, and positive people I know. She truly is a model student. She's the type of student that I hope keeps in touch with me throughout her years after high school, and I know she'll be successful at whatever she does. So it's Maddie Kripe.
This Callie Hapner, nominated by Mr. Hanbeck.
I nominated Callie for a couple of reasons. I've gotten to know her pretty well over the last few years, had her in a couple of classes, and I've seen a lot of growth and maturity. She has developed herself into a student who really cares about her education. She's getting to the point where she gets a little picky about some of the aspects of things, so she wants to make sure she has them right. It's not uncommon for her to come up between classes to turn in something that needs to be turned in or that she thought she missed or something like that. So that's really kind of a great thing. It shows that she really cares. She's contemplating going into education, and it's fun because she shares with me some of the things that she does for her cooperating teachers in terms of some of the lessons that she prepares. She's asked for help on a few of them, and that's been kind of fun to help her with that too. All in all, great, wonderful young lady who's still just feisty enough to not be afraid to argue just a little bit, just to see how far she can go. But I really love sitting and just talking with her because she shares way more than just school stuff. We've talked a lot about just herself and things that she does and things that she cares about a lot over the last few years. So again, just one of those people that Whitko we just keep generating these kind of kids, and this is perfect. This is what we're all about.
Student of the Month, I think this might be a first, but it's Bryce Johnston, nominated for the high school by Mr. Strayer, and also nominated for the Career Academy by Mr. Doms.
Well, this doesn't surprise me at all. Bryce has the two things I try to teach in my classroom is respect and work ethic, and he has that way beyond. Maddie was the same way. That's why I chose both these students. It's his first year at Whitko, and it's been an honor and privilege to get to know him and have him in my Algebra 2 honors class. Again, Bryce has shown me nothing but respect and honesty, which I hold dear. Bryce is a true leader in the classroom. He volunteers to answer questions, isn't afraid of hard work. He also doesn't judge a person before he gets to know them. He has a great sense of humor, knows how to listen. He is very positive and a happy person. And again, others seem to be drawn to him because of these attributes. Bryce is very intelligent, picks things up easily, and again, when he does understand, he'll work hard till he get full comprehension. So he has that amazing work ethic. He likes to take on challenges, and he doesn't stop until he completes those. Again, when I give him a task, I know it's going to be done well also. I know I can ask him to do anything for me, and he'll do it without hesitating. Again, in conclusion, Bryce is one of the hardest working, caring, trustworthy, and positive people I know. And again, he is a true model student. I look forward to having him in class these next few years. And again, he's going to be a great asset to our society. He's just a great kid, great in class, out of class, and he's going to be very successful.
Awesome. Mr. Doms couldn't make it this evening, but has a lot of very similar things to say. He said Bryce is a pleasure to have in class, overcomes every obstacle that's given to him. He goes out of his way to help classmates when they're struggling or just need some help. He really enjoys the CAD drawing on his Fusion 360 and then being able to apply that with the 3D printers and actually get a product that comes out. So he enjoys that. He's quickly become a leader in the class, comes to every day to class with a great attitude.
Congratulations, Bryce. Next, we have Meredith Heinball, a freshman, nominated by Mr. Eberly.
All right, hello. So I'm Mr. Eberly. As you heard, I've nominated Meredith Heinbaugh for Student of the Month. I think she may be sick today. She wasn't in class, but I'll still read what I've prepared here. So to give you an idea of why I've nominated Meredith for Student of the Month, I'll say, like, in my honors geometry class, students doing really well if they're getting typically 90, 95% on the test most of the time, and maybe every so often they'll get 100%. But with Meredith, that's flipped around. For her, the norm is consistently get 100% score on the test, and then maybe every so often miss a problem. And so this is obviously the mark of a very talented student, but I was thinking about why Meredith stood out to me and why I wanted to nominate her. And so it's not, I think it's not just about the talent, because there's a lot of students who come through my class who have a similar level of talent who could consistently get those perfect scores if they had the commitment to put in that extra time and effort to do that, right? But then the question is, how many talented students are there who actually do that, who put in that 100%, 110%, and the list is a lot shorter. And not only that, but at the same time, outside of the classroom, she's put in the work also to be a major asset to the Whitko volleyball team. So that's this commitment that sets her apart. Many students are happy to bring 80 or 90% effort, but Meredith has that commitment to bring 100, 110% effort. So that's why I'm nominating Meredith. She's proved that no matter what she does, she brings her all, and I think we should be proud to have her as a Whitko Wildcat.
Congratulations to Meredith. Next, we have South Whitley Elementary, Hadley Overmeyer, nominated by Ms. Kroll.
All right. So Miss Hadley Overmeyer here has got quite the spunk and intelligence and the grit to do whatever she wants in life. She was my right-hand person to prank and
Mr. Osborne. Mr. Osborne.
All right, I'm just going to read what I wrote about Cohen. I wrote, Cohen is always happy to be at school. He enters the classroom and is immediately ready to get to work. He is almost always on task and is ready to help anyone around him once he finishes his work. Cohen is a friend to everyone in the classroom and is ready to help make sure that all students in the classroom feel included and valued. Cohen is excited to participate in whatever we are working on and is eager to learn more and expand his knowledge about the topic. I consider Cohen to be a leader in the classroom and often depend on him to help me keep the classroom moving forward. Cohen's competitive nature ensures that he does the absolute best in everything that he does, but he's humble enough to learn from any mistakes that he makes. In my opinion, Cohen exemplifies what it means to be a Pearston Cub and a Whitko Wildcat.
Those are our students of the month for January. Item 2.3 on the agenda is called Headliners, which is great news from around the district. I have a few items I would like to bring forward to the board. Maddie Abbott was the spelling bee champion, and Ezekiel Sexton was the runner-up in the South Whitley Elementary Scripps National Spelling Bee Competition. Maddie will next compete at the county level. Second, we have Jordan Leininger, a recent graduate of Whitko and also Miss Whitley County, received first runner-up in the 2025 Indiana State Fair Queen Contest. Congratulations to her. And then rounding out, I've got several art announcements. The Whitko High School Art Department recently competed in the 2025 Regional Scholastic Art Contest in Fort Wayne. There were 2,053 artworks were entered from schools in our region and from parts of Northwest Ohio. Whitko students won 13 awards. There were 3 gold keys, 4 silver keys, and 6 honorable mentions. Those winning pieces will be on display at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art from February 10th until April 7th. The gold key winners will proceed for national judging in New York City after that. Cassidy Skinner is featured in the statewide circulation of Indiana Connection magazine. She received the 2025 Cooperative Calendar of Student Art Artist of the Year, receiving the Best of Show, first place in the 11th grade category, and the 11th grade honorable mention. You can read the full article highlighting Cassie's artworks. And lastly, the Whitko High School Art Department recently competed in the 55th World School Art Exhibition in the Republic of China. I can remember I was in the 17th, so tells you how old I am. That means it's been over 40 years, give or take, that Whitko's been participating in this. Whitko art students received 5 selected medals, outstanding work awards, and It says here that to date, Mr. Malicki says that Whitko has received 60 state, 45 national, and 211 international awards. So congratulations to the art department and the other people we mentioned. If you haven't already done so, if the students of the month would like to leave before the regular meeting continues, you may do so at this time. And that brings us to 3.0, the principals and director reports. First on the list, I have Christy Hoppert.
Good evening. I was so short. I gotta move this down a little bit. Some highlights for Pearston. Our chess club, it's game club, but I've noticed they're mostly playing chess, which is super hard and super awesome. So that will be from 3 to 4:15 p.m., so right after school for 5th and 6th graders. Mr. Oosley led our robotics club last year, and we're still working on maybe continuing that in the future, but he's picked up this chess club, and we have several students who are interested in that. So we have slots for up to 24 students, and I think he told me actually this morning that he has 24 students, so that's awesome. The World Read Aloud Day, that's creeping up here on February 5th, so students are invited to dress up as their favorite character, read a favorite related character book, watch and listen to guest speakers and so forth. So we have basically like some outlined activities for that day, excuse me, to promote our reading. So that's pretty awesome. PTO, we're going to do a separate school thing for flowers. So we will have carnations. So I think a flyer is going out tomorrow to students, and that way we have something for Valentine's Day. And that will be sold up through February 4th, I believe. So we'll have that, and any of the proceeds that are left over from the sale of the flowers will go to the playground. And then PTO related, in March 19th through the 21st, we have sucker sales. I think we did that last year and did pretty well. And those will be sold at our main doors at Pearston, 2 for $1. That along with we have, gosh, that's coming up on February 8th. We have vendors for, gosh, it's on here somewhere. Where's it at? Pearston Chamber of Commerce, Galentine's. So just basically being able to like shop that day, and the proceeds of that will help raise money for our playground as well. We are recruiting more members for PTO, you know, as people are phasing out. We know 6th grade, 5th grade's moving on, and so we have some teachers that have really stepped up and participated and helped lead some of these activities as well. So we're excited about continuing some of those traditions on. Talent show auditions, we are having talent show again this year, February 18th, and those auditions are from 3:30 to 5. And I believe the actual talent show is March 20th, so that's on a Thursday night. And if I remember correctly, I think it maybe 5:30. I know I put that on my calendar, but February 25th, we have Macmillan Health presentations, and so those are for grades 4, 5, and 6, and those are scheduled from 8:30 to 11:30. So that's something that we do each year for the upper elementary students. And then student council, I feel like maybe I said some of this last time, so I'm going to summarize what's coming up. So the big thing in February for student council, they're going to host a Love Your Pets drive. So supplies, food, animal and cat supplies, or excuse me, cat and dog supplies all will be collected for the Animal Welfare League. And then our next main testing window, some of these have already passed. Grades 3 through 6. We got off schedule just a little bit, but I know this week and next wrapping up the window for checkpoint 2 for math, and looking at that data point, we did take opportunity 2 for checkpoint 1. That got a little interrupted, but we were able to get most kids an opportunity 2 for that, and looking at that data as well. And then WIDA is coming up in the next week or so for WIDA testing for EL students. The big thing we're working on right now for math curriculum adoption is evaluating We looked at, I believe we started with Savas last week, excuse me, gosh. And we're looking at Ready Math. So because of the days we missed, we're just kind of combining, continuing on with Savas, looking at Ready Math this week. And then we're taking 2 more, spending on the next 2, so HMH, and then also Eureka Math. And then upcoming cluster topics, we're really working on writing. So writing, Black components, assessments, instructional strategies. So really carrying on the work that we did last year, just a little bit more in depth with our ELA checkpoint standards and our maps for item specifications. And I think that's it. That's a quick summary for Pearson. Thank you.
Next, we have Joel Hasapo with South Whitley Elementary.
Good evening. South Whitley is preparing for iRead testing. That happens in March, so it feels like it's a little ways out, but it's going to be here before we know it. And one of the things that we're also looking at is we know that our 3rd grade students need to pass that, or the potential to be retained in 3rd grade is there. So we're going to look at some different options that we can do for our students to prepare them once we have the data, whether they passed or not, potentially looking at some after school, little tutoring after school that we can then test them prior to the summer school session. That might allow us to differentiate a little bit students who maybe are closer to passing, smaller grouping, some of those things that we're talking about. Also, as part of our professional development Monday morning clusters, we're looking at to improve our proficiency on iLearn and how we can help our students develop their background knowledge, especially with the writing prompts that they're going to see. There's 3 different writings that they can be asked to write about. Those would be like an argumentative, a narrative, or an expository. So we're trying to help them be prepared so that when they see the prompt, they say, oh, I know what to do and I know what is included in that. We're also looking at partnering with the Whitko County 4-H to bring in some exciting hands-on programming. Some of these programmings might include like a Makers Fest, engineering activities. I know they offer a drone program, so we're looking at that too going into the future. Lastly, I just want to say how thankful I am for the South Whitley staff. When we woke up this morning, we had 3 positions that were not filled, and we needed to juggle our staff to make sure that we had all of our students with teachers, that they were all safe, and that when we do that, that requires that everybody gives a little bit of what they were planning to do, and it changes our day. So I'm just really thankful for our South Whitley staff and the way that they're willing to give for what's best for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Benedict with the Whitko Career Academy.
Good evening. Good evening. This month's senior work-based learning student for January is Emerson Harper. Emerson is working at Sunshine Child Care in South Whitley Community Church. She completed her CCMA pathway and also earned her certification as a junior last year at WCA. She'll also have receive a technical honors diploma this year as well. So proud of Emerson and what she's doing. Our construction trade students will be utilizing our new skid steer for some initial groundwork that to prepare a deck that's going to be added to the manufactured trailer that they completed back here for Giving Gardens. That actually got moved out and is on site now. They'll be doing some groundwork for that, hopefully when the weather breaks here in the spring. So they're excited about that opportunity. Our culinary arts students, again, continue to receive 2 days of training at Uncommon Joe's, the restaurant downtown, with our culinary arts instructor. That in-field training allows them to see all aspects of the hospitality industry, from menu design, food preparation, point of sale, customer service, and other beneficial and employability skills. So they're here 3 days a week and 2 days a week there at the restaurant. Our education profession kids and our early childhood students begin their second semester in-field experiences at South Whitley and Pearston, as well as here at the Whitko Early Learning Academy as well. So we also have taken place with in January on the 13th, 15th, and before break with our 8th, 9th, and 10th and 11th grade students that are already in programming here, get them re-upped for programs at WCA and signed up for classes for next year as well. Those processes already done. The only group that we have left is our sophomores and juniors. There are 25 of them, I believe, that will need to come out and just visit the tours and all the different programs that we have to offer to hopefully make sure that they get signed up and meet that box 3 requirement of either 6 credited hours or an academic honors diploma or a test score that allows them to meet that requirement. So bringing them out on February 6th. And then WCA also got to host Cherubusco students, 8th graders and 9th graders are coming to us to kind of fulfill their obligation of career and college readiness as a field trip to kind of visit our facility and kind of see what we have to offer. So they came on the freshman students came on the 23rd. We had to reschedule the 8th graders. They'll be coming on February 12th. Okay.
So those were students from Cherubusco?
Cherubusco's 8th and 9th grade students. There's always a part of college and career readiness that every class has to go through. They're utilizing that field trip over here to see our facility, see the programs that we offer, see what things are out there for them to hopefully select in the future, wherever that may be for them for the CTE. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Next we have Jody Clark with the junior senior high school.
Good evening. We have been, Mr. Maurer has actually been doing some safety walks within the school. He's been visiting every classroom to make sure that the students and the teacher understand all the emergency preparedness drills and the school policy procedure, like our ALICE drill, our just severe weather drills with tornado, fire, making sure students and teachers know where our AEDs are located as well. We just finished, our 8th grade finished their checkpoint 2 for the math pilot for iLearn last week, and 7th grade is taking theirs this week. So we're kind of curious to see how that looks in comparison to the first checkpoint. It's not the same material covered, but we're excited just to see if the kids feel a little more at ease and how they did. With NWA, we just finished that testing. Before Christmas, our freshmen finished with the reading. And then just directly after Christmas, our junior high finished up. And just to give you a little data on that, excuse me, from fall to spring, and we looked at our fall scores in our, not spring, fall to winter, our scores for our 8th grade in math, 53% of our students exceeded growth. So what NWA does is they give you an idea of like how many points they should grow. And it's usually around 3 to 4 to 5 points. And so 53% of our 8th graders exceeded that or met that. And then in 7th grade, 48 of our 7th graders, 48% of them exceeded that proposed growth amount. And some just grew tremendous. Like we had some that even grew like 20 points. And so it's just really awesome to see that, how much they're growing. And in reading, our freshmen, we had 50% of them show growth past their proposed growth points. And our 8th grade, 50% of them grew. And our 7th grade, 45% of them grew. So we were really excited about just that growth that they're showing just from fall to winter. So it'll be neat to see what happens in the spring. We will be having this Wednesday the Reality Store, which is Purdue Extension. They're coming in. They've been meeting once a week in Mr. Howard's econ class. And then they will create a reality store where the students will come in and, you know, it's kind of like the game of life in a way. Well, they'll pick a card and then they'll learn how to purchase certain things and what that would be based on what their salary would be. So hence the name Reality Store. So it will happen on Wednesday morning this week. We also have started some work with scheduling and determining some courses. With Cluster, we talked about like the new diploma requirements and what that could look like with this incoming freshman class and maybe some additional courses that we can offer. other than what they're already offering. So just looking at, our numbers in different courses that teachers are currently teaching, what can we offer? And our teachers are really excited about it because, they're able to branch out and maybe teach some things that they haven't been teaching in the past, but based on their licensure and course descriptions. So we're working through that right now. Then our Sunshine Society, they had their main fundraiser. Sunshine Society, all their money goes to Riley Children's Hospital. And so their main fundraiser they had it at the last basketball game, varsity basketball game. And what they do is they raise money for crowning a princess out of junior high and a queen out of high school. And all of those girls raise money together. And then, so the queen for high school was Isla Rose, and she herself raised $1,166. And then the princess for junior high was Isabel Irwin, and she raised $1,651. But overall, they raised $4,217 to be able to donate to Riley. So that was really exciting for them. And then they're going to also sell carnations at Valentine's Day to raise some more money to send to Riley. And then lastly, the Teacher Evaluation Committee, has been meeting every week for the last several months. We met with Dr. Corris today and gave her some input, and so we're going to continue finalizing things and just continue refining that process. And so we're on a good path. So any questions about any of that? Okay. I do have Mr. Singray's report since he's at the basketball game, if you'd like for me to share that. Sure. He said that congratulations to Coach Jordan and the varsity girls basketball team on winning back-to-back TRC championships. The girls basketball will compete in sectionals at Bluffton High School on February 7th, and we will play Woodland, and that starts at 6 p.m. on the 7th. Tickets are $7. Of course, their senior night is tonight at 6:30. For wrestling, the boys wrestling team led by junior Landon Smith continues to be recognized for their sportsmanship throughout the 24-25 season. The team has received 5 exemplary behavioral reports throughout the season. Landon and senior Lucas Wagner were both recognized by official Eric Lopshire for their outstanding sportsmanship through the Concordia match last Wednesday. The team has done a great job representing Whitko and the community. And I will say with that is referees have an option to look at a player or a teammate and go on in their extra time and put something through the IHSAA about someone that's an exemplary team or team member. So it's a really big deal when that happens. And so, it seems like every time I turn around, I'm getting an email that's praising our kids for that. So that's just awesome to see. So we appreciate that, and our boys and the girls that receive those. Upcoming senior nights, the boys basketball and pep band senior night will take place on Saturday, February 15th. Before the varsity warm-ups, approximately 7 p.m. And that's all he had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Rhonda Snavely with the Director of Operations.
Good evening. Starting with transportation, there's been a lot of checking roads, a lot of salting, a lot of plowing. So we've been pretty busy this last probably month. We've been working on our bus specs. I've been meeting with Kristen and Doug to go over what we want to continue ordering for our buses, and I hope to have that completed and submitted to the bus bid process later in the next week or two. Next week we have our annual drug audit. The state will come in, state police will come in and go through all of our drug books and drug testing books and make sure that we have everything in order and we're meeting our quota. We do have a new state inspector this year. His name is Joe Hartman. And he stopped in and we met with him, just an introduction last week. So he seems like a very nice gentleman, and I look forward to working with him on not only our audit, but then our bus inspections coming up pretty soon. We went to a Train the Trainer event that April Geiger hosted at Smith Green last week. There were 4 of us that attended. There was a lot of good information. Renee Dawson from DOE was there, and she had a lot of information from a lot of area schools that she was willing to share with all of us. Robin and I have sat down and we've kind of gone through and picked and chose what we wanted to compile for our trainers. And we're going to meet Friday to kind of finalize that and go over so that we're all teaching and training the same way when we have new people come in. We currently have 3 new drivers that are training for routes, 1 driver that's training to sub for bus routes, and then 2 that are going to be backups for the subs. So they're our last-ditch effort if we're all on the road. For maintenance, we've been working on the bleacher inspections. I got the final inspection. I've met with Barry, and we've gone over the repairs that we want to make and lots of bleacher seats that need repaired. So I'm working on ordering those through the Lee company. And we're working on the preventative maintenance moving forward that we need for our bleachers. I'm also excited to be switching to Greenworks for our fields. We made the switch to them last year for our lawn care, and I think they've done a good job just from what I've seen so far. They haven't had an opportunity to do a whole lot yet, but at least they were out there and we could see that they were physically there and putting product down, so that was a good show. We'll be working with Flowtech to replace our drinking fountains and make some repairs at our high school for drains that are plugged and just water fountains that have been let go for a while that have needed replaced or repaired. We also have some sinks that we're going to be repairing as well, and restroom things. For our D-wing, cabinets are installed in the science room and in the teacher's workroom. The countertops are installed. Plumbing and connectors underneath the sinks in the science rooms are going in this week. They've been working on the baffles and the clouds in the Lego lab, and that's been interesting to see. It will look really nice when they're done. They've been working on the terrazzo, and that looks really nice. Once they get the repair done in front of the Lego lab and the science rooms, then they're going to work on buffing the rest of it so that it all matches and looks shiny and new. The pipe in the new restroom, it was partially plugged, so they've been working with a company to come in and they're going to blast that and hopefully get that, whatever's obstructing that cleared out. And the D-wing restrooms, I believe they're open and they are beautiful. So if you have a chance to stop in and look at them, they look really nice. The masonry work, as I had reported earlier, there is a shortage. I've spoken with Dan at Shinkle Construction, and he's pretty sure he has somebody that's going to be able to start February 24th, maybe even a little bit sooner. He doesn't anticipate that prolonging the construction. He is going to work on sending extra people there so that we're able to finish that work July 25th as planned. I will work on sending pictures as we have our constructions meetings bi-weekly so that we can keep you guys all up to date and you can actually see what's going in. A lot of it up until now was just you couldn't really
get visual pictures of completion. So now you actually see things as they're being completed and they look really nice and shiny. So, any questions? Oh, you're welcome. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Carrie Walmer, with Director of Special Services.
Good evening. Our Applied Skills Classroom was recently awarded a $5,000 grant from the Whitley County Community Foundation to support our work-based learning initiatives. We were also awarded the Title IV grant from the Department of Ed, which gives us $21,000 of funds to support our alternative programming. Moving forward, we're really heavily focused right now on just looking at caseloads and making any adjustments that we need to prepare for the upcoming transition of 6th grade to the junior senior high. Do you have any questions? Okay.
Next, we have Rachel Hardy, the Whitko Early Learning Center.
Good evening. I guess to start off, I want to say thank you to the people in the community that donated books. One of the main focuses going into Christmas break was to be able to send home books for all of our kids in our center, and we were able to do that through donations. They're all brand new books to the kids. And then off of that, Madison Elementary in Warsaw donated a ton of gently used books to our center. So I'm in the process of going through all of those so that we can send home one book a week to every kid in our preschool classroom all the way up to our twos, and then our before and after kids. So very appreciative of that. And then we were able to open up our threes classroom coming back from break. Huge thanks to Chad Doms and his students who put together our kitchenette in the classroom. The kids are loving it. But that was a huge project to tackle, and he took a lot of time to come in and get that done for us. So thank you for that. And then we were able to hire Daisy Lopez. She's our lead teacher in our twos classroom now. She's doing a really fantastic job. And one of the things that has been super helpful is we're partnering with Launchpad and the YMCA, and they are doing all of our onboarding for our new teachers. So they'll take care of all their iLead trainings and CPR, first aid. So when they come to us, they're ready to go into the classroom and start teaching. So that's been another huge blessing, and that's for all early learning centers around the area. So. And then the last thing I have, one of our pushes right now is to continue to promote family engagement. So on Friday, we're going to be sending out a survey to all the families in our center just to hear their feedback and to learn about their hopes and dreams for their children. Our goal is to be able to partner with all of our families so that we can continue to make Whitko Early Learning Academy more inclusive for all of our families, so that we can strengthen relationships with them and empower families to invest in their children and their education beyond preschool. So hopefully that follows through kindergarten and beyond. So that's where we're at right now. We'll have more to come with that. Any questions?
Thank you. Next, we have Caleb Logan with Alternative Services.
Good evening. Just to give a couple of updates on my few areas. So we have currently 15 students enrolled in virtual learning, which is down from last semester by 5 students, but all of them are due to either early graduation or transitioning back to the junior senior high school, which is going great for the students who have transitioned, which is a great thing. We love having kids back in person, taking in-person classes. We've also had several enrollments this semester of new students into the alternative school with Mr. Stone. In total right now, with all areas of our virtual learning, we have 81 students enrolled in either at least one course on Apex, which has totaled as of January 17th that I had written down from the previous board meeting of 220 credits for the school year, which is pretty amazing comparing numbers from last year to now. And then on corporation testing, as you've heard mentioned, we've had checkpoint 2 of the iLearn checkpoints closing up for all of our school buildings, as well as several of the buildings working on the winter window of NWEA. And then lastly, we've been working to train all of our new staff on the test security with hiring of some new teachers and people in buildings for second semester. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Teresa Nepple, Technology Curriculum.
Good evening. Just going to focus on 2 for reading and math. So reading, grades K through 8, we use the ARC, the American Reading Company, to improve our students' reading skills. And phonics, we also use UFly to add to the phonics with ARC, and also vocab and comprehension. The instructional coaches and the administration, we get with ARC every so often, every other month, and it was phenomenal to see our growth from September to January. Just to give a little snapshot, kindergarten increased the number of students at grade level. So we started with 18 in the whole corporation that were reading at kindergarten grade level or above. And by January 16th of this year, just 4 or 5 months of work, we now have 48. So again, that's 30%. First grade was 40% increase. Again, 30 students who went from at emergency, at risk, to at grade level. So, and the results, and they're in your report, shows more and more growth. So comparing last year, our first year, to this year being completing 1 complete year, going into another semester, we're looking at a 17% increase overall. So look forward to hearing more growth, positive reports in May for you as we round out this year with ARC. For the math program, just like Christy had shared, Pearson, South Whitley, as well as the junior high, the math teachers are going through 4 different vendors, helping us hopefully narrow it down to 2. Maybe there'll be a winner. We never know. But by the end of February, we'd like to be able to present with Dr. Corse involved in making the decision, and hopefully by March have an approval, or at least a proposal for you guys if you would approve it. But as long as we keep coming to school, when we start losing days, it just delays. So that is it. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
That concludes our principals and directors reports. We now move on to item 4.0 on the agenda. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Corse.
All right. So we have $1,000 from South Whitley Community Facilities for South Whitley Elementary and the Junior Senior High School Boomerang Backpack Program. $525 from M&D Electric for South Whitley Elementary and the Junior Senior High School Boomerang Backpacks. $817 from Harvest Community Church in Pierceton, also for Pierceton Elementary School Boomerang Backpack. And $913.40 from American Online Giving Foundation to Whitko's robotics team. So thank you for all those organizations.
Okay, great. We have no signups for public comments regarding agenda items, so I'd like to move on to agenda item 6.0. There's a several list here of the public hearing in the December 11th work session, the December 16th regular meeting, as well as payroll claims for January, and personnel changes. May I get a motion to approve?
I move we approve the business reports and consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 7.0 is new business. 7.1 is the approval of $16 per hour rates for winter break painting at the high school. The following individuals painted during winter break: Jim Hicks, Natalie Griffith, Carissa Rose, Teresa Nepple, Teresa Hall, Antimony Fox, Wade Eberly, and John Van Patten. May I get a motion to approve 7.1?
I move that we approve the $16 per rate for winter painting.
Second.
Second. It has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any discussions? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 7.2 is donation of up to 10 surplus student desks to the Troy School as requested by Cindy Baker. The desk would come from the high school and are currently unused. May I get a motion to approve section 7.2?
I move that we approve the donation of up to 10 surplus student desks to Troy School.
Second?
I second it.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 7.3 is approve a February 21st, 2025 stipend payment to qualified kindergarten through grade 3 teachers and assistants. Whitko's portion of the IDOE Early Literacy Achievement Grant is $6,957.42. May I get a motion to approve 7.3?
I move we approve a February 21st, 2025 stipend payment to the qualified teachers and assistants as presented.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 7.4, it is recommended the use of 2 minibuses be approved as requested by Whitko bus drivers Amy and Jared Decanaw for the St. Patrick Arcola Fish Fry March 14th from 2 to 8 p.m. The vehicles will be used to shuttle participants to and from the church and the event, a distance of a half mile. The church will pay for fuel and has provided liability insurance coverage. May I get a motion to approve 7.4?
I move that we approve the recommendation of the 2 minibuses to be approved, requested by Amy and Jared Decanoff for the St. Patrick Arcola Fish Fry.
I second it.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. 7.5 is the approval of field trips. It has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So, old business, we have the second and final reading of Neola, Volume 37, Number 1 policies as presented. We need to take a motion on that, right? It doesn't say that.
Approve this second and final reading of the Neola Volume 37, Number 1 policies as presented.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.0 is miscellaneous administrative items. Dr. Kors, do you have anything?
Where I say something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I do have something. I just want to say thank you to the community. For those of you that don't know, this is really my 4th week, 19 days to be counting, but it has been one of the greatest joys to be in this role and such an opportunity. I have been to so many events throughout these last few weeks, just talking to people, getting to know you, getting to talk to staff members, and the question always comes up, how's it going? And have said many times, well, it's still fun. I'm having the best time ever. So I know that probably won't last forever, but I just want to thank the community in general for welcoming me. The staff has been so incredible. We have so many hardworking people. The last few days with closings and people sick, just the amount of people that step up and step in and ask, how can I help? It's just been so heartwarming to come back home and to see that, because that's what I grew up with. So it's nice to know that our staff and students and community still are that wonderful as I remember them. So I'll be brief because like some of you, I'm going to go to the girls' basketball game. So I don't have anything else to say, but just thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you very much. We do not have any signups for public comments regarding non-agenda items, so we'll move on to section 11.0, miscellaneous school board items. The next work session is scheduled for Wednesday, February 19th in the Academy Tap Room at 5:30 p.m. And the next regular meeting is Monday, February 24th in this lecture room at 5:30 p.m. May I get a motion to adjourn? It has been properly moved and seconded. We'll go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.